So you're a novice to the gym, you're just returning, or for the first time you decided you're going to train intelligently, I got your back. So let's say you're around your, late 20s, early 30s, and you fit into one of these categories. What we're going to do is we're going to break down what you should be doing right on the onset of your training to make sure that your future is good. So I guess the first thing is, what should a novice do? That's the question, right? What should a novice do showing up into the gym? Well, let's go down a list of some of the things you should be doing. You should be in the gym. You should be in the gym. If you have created some cute little at-home kettlebell program or something like that, you want to do your calisthenics because you want to be a calisthenics bro, that's cool. This is not the place for you. Get your ass in the gym. If you understand that, then stay tuned for more. Get your ass in the gym. There's nothing else to say. Are you bulking or are you cutting? Make the choice and stick to it. Don't bounce from diet to diet and, from decision to decision on what you look like. If you are overweight, lose the weight. If you are underweight, gain some weight. If you are somewhere in between, then a good mixture of weight training and a cardio-based program might work for you perfectly. But either way, be decisive. Am I bulking or am I cutting? You're not recomping. You're not recomping. Like I said, this is for people who are novices, just returning or just taking this intelligent for the first time. So none of us should be recomping. We should all, and I fall into one of these categories. 2 years ago, I was just returning intelligently for the first time. But either way, we all fall into one of these categories. So make sure you know what your body composition goal actually is. Choose a program that promotes a familiar understanding of the gym. Don't go for the most advanced this or, the several $100 that. You don't need that. You need a basic program, something that's easy to follow, something that's easy to source information on, and just adhere to it for about 6 months. Just 6 straight months where you don't go from program to program at all. Educate along the way. Don't execute. You are a novice. This is all about education. While you're doing your program, while you're maintaining that same solid program, just educate yourself on fitness concepts. Educate yourself on the fitness world even. But don't execute these things you've learned just yet. You really want to have a basis, a foundation in training. So the best thing for you to do is to pick a program that feels good, that is not causing you pain, and stick to that program for at least 6 months. And, kind of get an idea of what your body's going to start doing, how you're responding to workouts, how sore you are, things like this. These are more important than moving to the most optimized program and doing it over and over and over. You're not at the point of optimization just yet. You want that strong foundation. That's really it. If you're a novice, that's what you got to do. Moving on. If you're just returning to the gym, the first thing is don't leave again. Don't leave again, my bro. Stay. I understand life, it gets to you, but that's the biggest mistake right there is leaving. There's a way to create a schedule around your life. And if you really can't make it to the gym, please get some serious weights. Free weights are fine, but at least work out hard at home. Because what happens is, we don't train intelligently for a long time. Now I'm speaking from experience, okay? We don't train intelligently for a long time. And then something happens in life. For me, I had a baby, right? I had a baby, among a bunch of other things, right? Got married, a whole bunch of stuff before that. And this kept me out of the gym. But really, it didn't keep me out of the gym. I stayed out of the gym because I was not focused on that aspect in life. And I'm not telling you that it has to be the most important thing, but your health and longevity, your mental well-being, and all of these things, they kind of are boosted by going to the gym or exercising frequently. And, one of the things I wish I had done was exercise just as hard when I left the gym as I did when I was in the gym. And I probably would have, skipped over some of the steps that I fell over right when I came back. But that didn't happen. So please, don't leave again. And if you absolutely have to, do more than just look up a couple, calisthenic workouts. Get some free weights and make a real plan. The same way that you write in your logbook, the program you're going to do before you get to it. Or if you aren't, one day I hope you will, I'll teach you. But the same way that that should happen is the same thing. I'm leaving the gym. Let me make a program before I even get out of the gym so that I'm ready. Because the worst thing is getting close to opening the door of seeing your gains and your goals come true, and then closing it, and then coming back to that door and it's all covered in cobwebs, and now you got to pry it back open just to start seeing those things again. It doesn't feel good at all. So please don't leave again. Just like the novices, are you bulking or are you cutting? All right. This is important no matter where you are in your training journey. Be sure if you are bulking or if you're cutting, and adhere to that process for however long you determine, and make sure that it is for a longer time than 3 months. Like, bulk for more than 3 months. It's not going to murder you. You bulk for 9 months and do a 3-month cut in between. Either way, adhere to one or the other. Don't just bounce them in and, my abs are showing, I'm good, my abs kind of disappear, I'm not good, and you're all doing this based off of, you want PRs, then you want abs, and then you want PRs, and then you want abs. None of this is going to get you there, and some of you left the gym because of this confusing component. So please, just choose one, bulking or cutting. Pick one. Choose a program that you like. Choose a program that you like. You've been doing this long enough, even though you left, that you are familiar with basic movements. You know what you don't and do like when it comes to a basic training program. And if you don't, then pick a program that just gives you a good workout and learn these movements. But if you are just returning, chances are you already know kind of what you like and don't like for the most part. So pick a program that you like. It doesn't have to be that the specifics are good. It doesn't even have to be that. It could just be that you like the person who made the program. Either way, pick one that you like, and just like the novices, stick to it for at least 6 months. Don't change anything. Don't change anything. Just like the novices, you'll educate along the way, but your purpose for education is not to familiarize yourself with the gym and gym culture and how movements are best done or this or that or whatever. No, your education is going to be geared towards optimization. And you're not executing in this first program that you're doing for 6 months. You're just absorbing this knowledge. But when you repeat, then you're going to start refining your movements. There's a lot of things that you were doing in the beginning that didn't pan out for you so well. There's things that didn't work, and there's no point in coming back to the gym and doing the same shit you did when you left if it didn't work for you or get you where you wanted to be. Start educating yourself on new movements, on other modes. Start learning how to actually feel a weight for real. All of the concepts that, people talk about, all the nerd brain concepts and the bro concepts. Just have a field day with learning them and start refining the movements that you like first. If you do that, you're good. Just adhere to a program for 6 months, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you're bulking and cutting, and most importantly, learn to make your movements better. You're back in the gym. This is the perfect time to get back what you lost, which should give you some motivation, right? And this is a great time to start getting new things, but it's only going to come if you start doing more work. Training intelligently for the first time. Now, this category, you could be just returning and training intelligently for the first time, or you could have been banging it out in the gym this entire time, your whole life, and finally you're deciding, I'm gonna take it serious, for real, for real. It's real, it's for real this time, guys. Either way, this goes out to you. We made a lot of mistakes. We made a lot of mistakes. I was in the just returning training intelligently for the first time camp. You know, I had a training history that started when I got incarcerated. Actually, a little bit before that. But, you know, my whole life I've been exercising to some degree and in the gym or out of the gym. But I just have not been doing it intelligently for pretty much that whole time. I am going to be 37 this year. And it wasn't until I was 34 when I went back into the gym that I decided to take it serious, for real, to actually do something. So we made a lot of mistakes, guys. You know, we applied a lot of bro concepts that didn't work, and we forgot about proven bro concepts. Just as much as we bounced from perhaps science article to article doing what they said was best, not recognizing that we were, you know, better off doing something different. Either way, we made a lot of mistakes. You know, maybe we were doing our rows wrong the whole time, or, you know, maybe we didn't actually do any type of hip hinge movements, or we did no RDLs, or nobody did a lunge or a squat. You know, we messed up. We made some mistakes, and we have to own up to that part and realize that you didn't lose all of those gains. All of those gains aren't on the table, right? You're around my age category. Those gains didn't just disappear, my bro. They're there. They're there, and you can get them back, but it's going to require some more thinking about how you train and a lot less doing, which is what we were doing in the first place. Let's be real. We were just slapping on plates because it looked good and felt good, and that's not bad, but we're trying to really improve, and it's not just about the look and the feel in the gym. It's an all-encompassing thing, and we're looking for longevity. Make it simple, bro. Make it simple. All right? I know so it's like we get really excited because we're just coming back and we're ready to take it serious. So we just do everything. We apply every concept to training. I think at that one point I was like, I'm going to do pause rep, lengthen partial, slow, isometric hold, this, that, and the other. Slow it down. Keep it simple. You don't need to do all of that. You don't need to do all of that, okay? You're so familiar with the gym that you can source information. You know how to source good information. That does not mean applying all of those concepts at the same exact time. And it also doesn't mean moving concepts around and not adhering to a program like the two dudes before us, the novice and the just coming back. We most definitely have to avoid that mistake. So pick a program, adhere to the program, and keep it simple. Keep it simple. We don't need to do every unilateral movement that exists just because we know it'll make you have a massive back. You can get a massive back with 3 basic movements. You don't need to do all of it. You need to refine it all just like the guys before. So keep that in mind, man. Keep it simple. Stop confusing yourself with all these concepts. Before I step off of this particular topic, I'm going to say, like, the killing your gains concept that is so popular, doing this kills your gains, doing that kills your gains, doing this does this, that is all too much noise in an area that should otherwise be very silent and meditative because it is just your space. Remember that. Pay more attention to detail. Pay more attention to detail. The fluff parts of our bodies we pay probably too much attention to. Pay more attention to your weak points. Pay more attention to those small muscle groups that you don't really see. First of all, you might start to see them if you pay more attention to them. I know I just said make it simple. That can coincide with paying attention to detail. And if you don't think it can, then I feel bad for your brain. Okay? You need to be able to understand that concept. Okay, you can pay attention to detail while keeping a program simple. A good example would be for me when I was going through a lot of shoulder problems. One of the big things was not paying enough attention to my rear delts, my upper back, and the way that, I just wasn't doing enough exercises for that. I could pick hairs over how many different types of exercises I do for that, but the most important thing was actually working out my posterior chain fully and not just with the deadlifts, right? So that's what I mean. I paid attention to detail, but I did make it simple. And that's what's going to keep people like us who are trying to take this intelligently for the first time ever, that's what's going to keep us on top. Because of the naturals, we have the best foot to start on. Of the naturals, we have the best foot to start on. And I'm not talking about the genetically elite naturals. I'm talking about just the general guys, right? The average genetics, right? Maybe a little good, maybe a little bad, but not too far on either side, right? We have the best foot to stand on if we are deciding to take this intelligently for the first time, and we've been here before. Because gains will roll in. They won't come super fast, but they won't come super slow, and you'll be able to measure this progress better than those in the categories before you, and maybe even those who've been doing it so long that they're literally measuring, the tiniest results. It's probably really hard for those guys too. So keep that in mind. You're in a really great place. So there's one thread, one aspect that ties us all together, that ties every lifter together, every person trying to improve, and that is going from motivation to discipline. And either you're able to translate that or you're not. And you see some people, you think they're always motivated, but they're just disciplined. Motivation gets you there, gets you right in the door. Discipline is what keeps you there. And these things it has to be cultivated. It has to be chipped away at. You have to work hard at it. And one of the things that kind of just makes that crumble for a person is that they are so hyper-focused on the end goal. You're so hyper-focused on the result. You're so hyper-focused on what's at the very top of the mountain. But to get to the top of the mountain, it requires putting one foot in front of the other. And each step could be a dangerous step. You don't know what it is. You have to maintain a visual on your pathway up the mountain. It's just that the same thing applies in your daily life when it comes to goal making and maintaining discipline. You have to beat the benchmarks you set that are right in front of each other. Your final physique is not the benchmark right in front of you. That is way down the line. Right now, the benchmark in front of you might be lifting, a certain amount of weight because you can barely lift it, right? The benchmark in front of you could be losing weight actually before, changing your body shape, like, building muscle in this area and that area. You can't even see the muscle because you have to lose the fat. Make small goals that you can accomplish first. Little ones. Tiny ones, and chip away, and eventually those goals become bigger and bigger, and eventually the gaps between these goals become bigger and bigger. But don't extend them beyond your own reach. Don't extend them beyond your own reach. Keep them within eyesight. Keep them within reach, because the easier it is to attain these smaller goals, the faster you will chip away at the hole, and you won't even notice you're doing it until one day you look in the mirror and you say, "Oh snap, is that me?" You know what I'm saying? I remember when I started taking this seriously and I started, just eliminating small goals for my back development. And then one day I was doing a rear lat spread and I could see my lats underneath my armpits, and I had never been able to see that before. And I realized that I was so focused on, these small benchmarks. I was so focused on moving just a little bit more weight than last time, or a little more reps, or better reps, that I didn't even realize that this development was really happening. And then, boom, it was there. And I'm not saying that these things come super fast, but I'm saying that, throughout the process, you forget about the goal and you start to fall in love with the process. And then eventually the goal becomes a result of that. And it's harder to reach the goal, the harder it is for you to fall in love with the process. And if you really want this, you have to fall in love with it to some degree. So that's something that we should all, as lifters and as people, be cognizant of if we're trying to actually improve. Hey man, if you made it this far, I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for taking the time out of your day. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment, some feedback. Nobody ever does, but I'm going to say it. I'm going to keep saying it. And yeah, my next video, we're going to talk about my program that I created, the Strong Dad Protocol and Hotep Health, and how to run these programs so that if you're interested in them, you can actually get them and run them efficiently and intelligently. As always, much love, y'all. Peace out.